Greetings and salutations, everybody, and welcome to Static Screen Episode 9. It's been a while since we recorded a movies and TV podcast, but we are back once again to talk about all the things that are nerdy in the realm of movies and TV. Mostly movies this week, and mostly on the Disney side of things, oddly enough. But joining me this week, he is the one, the only House of Rage, ECW James.
Hey, not even being sick could stop me from doing this podcast.
Yay!
There, hopefully you get sick too and I can get over it. Thank you for having me again.
Oh, it's great to have you back, man. And we've got a lot to talk about today. Some really exciting stuff. D23 happened the last week. Some really, really exciting news that has us giddy with excitement.
Oh yeah, huge news.
We learned more of Civil War. We got little bits of information about Doctor Strange. And a shit ton of movies that Disney is producing themselves.
Oh yeah.
We don't have it here on the news, but I'll briefly mention it now. Big Hero 6 is going to be in Kingdom Hearts 3. That's extremely exciting.
Yeah, I heard about that. I've never played a Kingdom Hearts game. I've watched it played a few times. And I think Big Hero 6 is going to fit in perfectly with that whole universe.
It's probably the best. Well, I mean, Big Hero 6 is kind of a Marvel property, so it's probably the best way they could incorporate something Marvel into the game anyway.
Until they flat out hit the Marvel universe.
Yeah. But, yeah, let's begin this show as we begin every show with what we've been watching. So, James, I know you've seen a couple of things that you really want to get off your chest.
Oh yeah, the main thing, well, first thing being I finally sat down and watched X-Men Days of Future Past. And I gotta say, I enjoyed it. But, I mean, there was a couple little faux pas in the storyline. Like, if I remember correctly, Kitty Pryde actually, it wasn't Wolverine that traveled back in time, it was Kitty Pryde. Her consciousness traveled back in time and warned the others. But, you know, Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
Come on, there wouldn't be an X-Men if there wasn't a Hugh Jackman.
And it made more sense, because if Kitty traveled back in time in this one, she'd be a child, maybe? Or
she
not
wouldn't
even
even be
born
born.
Yet? Yeah.
When the first movie came out, which was, 98, 99?
Right.
Early 2000s? She was 16 years old. This movie takes place late 70s, early 80s.
Right, yeah. So.
Yeah, she wouldn't even be born. But I really enjoyed it. I don't like how Magneto became a cold-blooded killer all of a sudden, trying to kill someone he's cared about deeply.
Yeah. Especially
after she said, "No, I'm not going to do it." He's like, "I don't care. I got to save us all by killing everybody." But you know it worked. It worked for the movie. It made a lot of good suspense, which it's good for a movie like this. Yep. I can't wait to see how hopefully they don't screw up Age of Apocalypse.
Yeah.
I mean, we see the pictures. He looks like Ivan Ooze, but then again, that just could be a way. They'll probably go in post and clean it up.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, it was a Rush trailer. You could tell.
At least Olivia Munn looks good.
Yes, she does. And her lube suit. Yeah, apparently that outfit is so tight, the only way she can get into it is with lube. Like they grease her up, slide her in, and dry her. I think I found my job. Something to add to the bucket list. The other thing I watched was the season finale of True Detective Season 2.
Okay.
And I was highly disappointed.
Oh, that is unfortunate because you've really praised up the show here on the podcast.
I did. And, because despite what people were saying about some of the dialogue and the lack of the eerie supernatural suspense that the first season had, it just, there was a good build-up. There's some really great, dramatic, intense sequences in the show. And the episode before the finale had, everything was setting up perfectly. Everything was falling into place. One of the main cast gets killed off, in a very heroic effort, trying to, get information back to the other people. And, they got killed off. And then there was the thing with the mobster, how he was going to hit back at everyone that screwed him over. Everything was setting up to be so cool. And then the season finale, which was 90 minutes, feature length season finale.
Oh.
It blew its load in the first 20 minutes, and then the rest was meaningless filler.
Ouch. That's really, really unfortunate.
Characters I despised made it through unscathed. Characters I liked and wanted to see make it die.
Ouch.
And in the worst ways possible that just left you thinking, what the fuck were you thinking? Like, I know you're watching it, so I'm not going to say much. But it's just character, like, the setups to certain things were things that they would see coming a mile away. In any other situation, they would see this, oh no, this is something bad. I got to get out of here now. But they don't. And
That's,
yeah, they fucked it up. I mean, there was a couple cool scenes, but the director dropped the ball. The writer kind of dropped the ball. I can't really blame the actors because, you can only do so much with what you got.
Yeah, exactly. Which I'll be talking about in a little while, but...
Yeah, exactly. But overall, I still enjoyed the series. I hope season 3 is going to be better. Hopefully it is going to be better.
Yeah. And hopefully they go back to more of that supernatural tone.
Exactly. I mean, the cool thing was about the first season is it wasn't overbearing. Like, example, the X-Files. You know how some episodes were just so heavy-handed with it?
Oh, yeah.
I was like, okay, we get it. This shit's really happening. What the fuck, With this one, it was always that, the best way I can describe it is you walk into a room and you smell the perfume of a lady that was just there. That's how subtle the supernatural was in that. Like, you get those slight, very slight undertones. It's like, okay, literally, we just missed it. And they never give you a definitive answer of what you see is actually going on or just a hallucination. Which I fucking loved. Plus, there was, in one episode, this doesn't spoil anything. There is a 16.5-minute constant one take. Which the camera is following Matthew McConaughey as he, in this drug bust, it goes bad, so it's following him as he's in this really bad ghetto Louisiana neighborhood, literally fighting from house to house to house, trying to get out of there alive. And it's all one take.
Wow.
From a technical standpoint, it was fucking beautiful. They should have won so many awards for that alone. But, yeah. So that's what I've been doing. That and trying not to die.
Well, for myself, I do have quite a list of stuff that I've been watching over the course of the last 2 weeks. I'll run through the TV stuff first. I've caught up on School Live, or School Live, sorry. Holy fuck, that series just keeps getting better.
I'm probably just going to marathon it when the season's over.
Mm-hmm. The latest episode, it was kind of another flashback catch-up one. Wow, it actually had me in tears at one point.
Oh, jeez.
They revealed something which I had been assuming for a while now. They did another one of their, hey, guess what? Everything's not what it really seems like kind of things. And again, it was really well done. They didn't drag it out or anything, but it was revealed. It was really nice. Really, really emotional scene, which was beautifully crafted again. This anime, again, we've praised it on the past few episodes. Probably the best anime this summer that I've watched. It's just so good.
I would say best and most original.
Yeah, definitely. It's covering topics that a lot of things, even like normal shows, stray away from and will not touch. So it's great that they're doing that.
I can't wait to see the whole season.
Mm-hmm. The other anime that I've caught up on is Monster Monsoon, Everyday Life with Monster Girls. that show, woo, yeah.
Yeah, so who's the new monster? I saw, what was it, a week before last, the Harpy moved in?
Yep, that was the second episode, actually.
Oh, okay.
Since then, we've gotten the Centaur one. The Slime was after that. What?
There's a slime?
Yep. Who, yeah, she can absorb water and that, and she took moisture off of the other girls in very, very interesting ways.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. The mermaid showed up after that.
There's a mermaid. Of course there's a mermaid.
The latest episode was nobody new really showed up, but it's hard to keep this PG on this podcast, but let's just say it involved a harpy laying an egg and the snake girl shedding. I'll leave it at that.
Dear God.
Yeah, that it's amusing to say the very least. Very, very funny. I watched a few more episodes of BoJack Horseman. The character that Aaron Paul plays is amazing as always, and built his own Disneyland in the recent episode that I watched.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Where the representatives of Disney took him to court, and his statement against them was like, maybe back when Walt Disney, did up the trademark, he spelled Disneyland wrong. And lo and behold, Walt Disney spelled Disneyland wrong.
Oh, God.
Oh, but yeah, that show is just so good. And the final anime that I've been watching a few episodes of, I think I might be on episode 5 now, is Sailor Moon Crystal.
Now, I've actually been hearing some good stuff about that. Apparently it follows the manga a lot more closely.
Yeah, from what I've heard, it does. I'm not really sure because I haven't read the manga myself, but it's good.
It's not as westernized as the original series.
Oh, God, no, it's not. It's still keeping the classic tone, but they're a bit more mature in this than they are in, like, the original series. Because, Sailor Mars was kind of a hothead and pretty much hated Sailor Moon and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much in this one. She's a lot more calm and laid back. But yeah, it's great. The animation itself is really nice. It might be a little too girly for a lot of people, but for anybody that watched the original series, you'll really appreciate it. And now into the 3 movies that I saw. I decided to go see Ant-Man again because
It's Ant-Man.
Yeah, it's Ant-Man. It was the final day it was in my theater, so I was like, yeah, sure, I'm going to go see it one more time.
They must love you there.
Yeah, they do. I also got to see Dragon Ball Z Resurrection F at the theater.
So the abridged version of the new season.
Essentially, yeah. It was good. It was really good. It was great seeing Frieza back again. The way they crafted the story was really good. Oh, man.
Well, from what I understand, Akira Toriyama is actually in charge of the series again.
Yep.
So, of course, we're actually going to be seeing a lot more of, his original stories that was so fun.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully not get a bunch of filler.
Yeah. And that was the thing about this movie, too. It was really... Sorry. I almost choked on some water. It was really fun and really amusing. Few scenes that come to mind, like after Frieza shows up with his army of goons, a bunch of the Z fighters are there, and Bulma shows up and starts yelling and cursing at Frieza. Prior to that, you see this bank robbery in progress. These two crooks, they're going away on this like moped thing, and a cop starts following behind them. And they think they're ahead of the cop, and you just see something zoom by them, and next thing you know, the cop is in front of them. This is Krillin. He's now a police officer.
I always liked Krillin.
Yeah. Oh, it was great. When like Frieza showed up and noticed him, he was like, "Oh, it's the little bald one. I remember killing you." There were just so many amusing things. Varys shows up again in this one, and his assistant Vice, yeah, whatever. They show up. Frieza actually takes notice of them at one point and gets scared shitless. It's like, you're not here to stop me, are you? But yeah, overall, really fun movie, really entertaining. If you're a Dragon Ball fan, do yourself a favor and try to watch this. It was actually sold out everywhere, I think. Even at my theater, which was kind of surprising. They had 4 showings, one of which was a encore showing, like they just added in afterwards because they did so well selling tickets for it. So yeah, it was great. Once it comes out on video, do yourself a favor, watch it, because it is well worth it. And the final thing I watched...
Let's do this.
Oh, it's time, yes. I think I made reference to this on the last podcast, that I was going to do this, and I did do this. I went and saw the new Fantastic Four movie. Contrary to most of the reviews out there, I didn't hate it to the point where I was angry. I didn't come out of this feeling like I felt after I watched X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Oh.
I was more or less just disappointed. Like, it's watchable. That's about the only good thing I can say about this movie. You can watch it. It's not going to be great, but it's like, it's something. Mm-hmm. It didn't make me as angry as when I saw Cloud Galactus, because fuck that shit. Never will be forgiven. But yeah, like, this, it had so much potential. I love the way the movie began with Reed building the teleporter in his garage, getting help from Ben Grimm. Like, that whole thing, that whole premise, that was cool. I liked that. But after that, it just drags out, and there were so many stupid inconsistencies here, where it takes place when he's young in the year 2007. Let's keep that in mind. 2007.
Right.
He's talking in class about how he wants to be the first person to teleport himself. He gets laughed at by his teacher in that. And it's like, what? I mean, okay, it's kind of silly if any normal kid saw this, but he's supposed to be a genius. Have you been looking at his test scores or anything like that?
Yeah.
Like, that whole premise is ignored. They go to a science fair, and I'm sorry if I'm spoiling anything for people out there right now, but fuck it, I'm going all in here.
Go for it.
They go to a science fair where apparently Reed and Ben are the only two old people there. I mean, they're supposed to be 18. They look like they're in their late 20s, like the age of the actual actors. But
So wait. This was a high school science fair.
yep.
What grade was he in when he was a kid?
I'm not sure. This was the high school science fair takes place 7 years after that original scene.
That's kind of my point.
Mm-hmm.
So he would have had to have been doing this when he was in second grade.
Well, not necessarily. Yeah, I guess so.
Well, you know, he would still be in grade school.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
So yeah, the science fair takes place when he's like 18
And still in high school.
yeah. And, you know, they actually managed to teleport a plane. And what do the teachers and judges think of this? Oh, it's just a glorified magic trick. You made the plane just disappear by magic. They built a freaking teleporter right there in front of you.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah. And then suddenly Franklin Storm strolls up and recruits them. Because Franklin and Sue Storm just, you know, wander through science fairs looking for this shit. So annoying. And it just gets worse after that. Reed gets taken to the Baxter building, signs up scholarship and all that deal, and helps build a new teleporter. They get everything built. They successfully send a chimp and everything, and the government steps in. Oh, now we're going to take this to NASA. So what does Reed, Johnny, and Victor Von Doom, yes, he's called Von Doom in the movie, not Damashev.
Yeah, I heard they changed that, apparently.
Yep.
He went from being an insane blogger to actually working on the project.
Yep. Yeah, when the first scene you see him, he's sat by a computer and everything, but I mean, come on. Whatever. So, yeah, after they get that, they get drunk and decide, oh, we're going to teleport ourselves in anyway, because that's a good idea. And Reed just calls up Ben, hey, we got to teleport. I'm not leaving without you, buddy. And Ben just comes over and they teleport to the other dimension. And that's where shit goes wrong, and then we get to spend the next 30 minutes in a lab.
So, wait. Now, I heard that Sue wasn't even on the mission.
Nope, she didn't go. When they teleport back, she just gets, like, hit by the rays, well, not rays, but by the teleporter aftermath coming back. And that's how she gets her powers.
And she was the only one hit.
Yeah, well, she was the only one in the lab at the time. She was trying to bring them back, so that, as bad as it was, that kind of made sense for that. And yeah, they start to get their powers, which was, you know, the next scene after that was kind of cool. They flash forward a little bit. They show how each of them are suffering through their powers. Like, Reed is stretched out. He's clearly in pain. Johnny's constantly on fire and can't control his powers yet. He's suffering. Sue's phasing in and out. Doom was left back in the other dimension. And Ben is just encased in rocks and unable to move, basically, just trying to struggle to get out. That was cool. It felt like kind of like a horror movie then. And
kind of like 1984 The Fly.
Yeah, sort of, yeah. Like, that was actually kind of cool, seeing how they were dealing with their powers that way. It wasn't like the other movies where it's like, oh, we got cool powers now. This was actually kind of a nice, realistic approach to how somebody would deal with first gaining superpowers. So I'll give them credit for that. Like I said, I didn't hate the movie. There's some good things in the movie. Where to after that? Reed manages to escape, and we get a flash forward through a year where Ben Grimm is working for the military and has a known kill count of like over 43 people. The
What?
thing has been killing people. Yeah, it's bad. They manage to get Reed back. They build the teleporter again. They go to the other dimension. They find Doom. They bring him back. He starts killing people. Then we finally go into our first and only minute action sequence of the entire movie. Doom's whole plan is to use the teleporter, go back to his own dimension, and just like open a rift between the two worlds to destroy the Earth by sucking the Earth into the other dimension.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really weird. The Fantastic Four managed to go over there, and we get our big action sequence of the entire movie, which is about all of 10 minutes.
And from what I've been reading, it's just Doom throwing rocks at people.
Pretty much, yes.
Wow.
He puts his hand on Reed's neck at one point and starts choking him, in which, Reed doesn't do anything really to escape that, but yeah, it was bad. The CGI in the movie was good, though. I mean, the Thing looked awesome, despite having no pants, but he looked great, and his voice was good in the movie. Like, I know that was a fear we had before going into it.
Yeah, because there was that one trailer where they showed him talking, but it was his regular before transformation voice, which made no sense whatsoever.
Yeah. They did throw in the "it's clobbering time" line.
Well, you have to.
Yeah, it was kind of... it was not well placed. Like, he smashes a rock that Doom throws at him and then hits Doom while saying "it's clobbering time." And let's get to Doom a little bit, shall we?
Oh, you mean the melted wax crash test dummy?
Yeah! God. Yeah, he looked horrible. Like, that was bad. I mean, he made Deadpool from X-Men Origins look good.
Ooh.
It looked bad, but... And I'm going to say 30% of his acting as Doom was really bad as well, especially the line, "There is no victor, there is only Doom." Oh yeah, the sigh of pain. But other than that, he kind of acted like Doom. He killed a whole bunch of people exiting the laboratory. Watching that, it was just popping heads left and right. Don't know how they made that as a PG-13, mind you. Like, it was something out of the old Elfen Lied anime.
I think, now, I've actually been reading a lot about this movie, trying to, there's a lot of people trying to figure out where things went wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And the most common thing is, apparently you can tell from when the director was released from the project, not fired, and the studio took over. And apparently that was the last 30 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, wouldn't be surprising. Felt like it.
And just... It was weird. Just... It was like they set everything up to fail. Like... Now, I haven't watched his previous film, Chronicles.
Chronicle, yeah.
Which is supposed to be really good, a good, realistic superhero movie. I think that's what they were initially going for with the new Fantastic Four, but unfortunately, he didn't have any action in it.
Yeah. Yeah,
You said yourself, how much of the film was just them in the lab?
Oh my god. I would say, let's see, for about the first, I'm going to say 20 minutes, and that's probably giving it more than what it was Reed and Ben outside the Baxter building. For the next 35 minutes of the film, it was probably them in the lab going to the other dimension. Then the next 30 minutes or so was them in the military facility, seeing just very brief glimpses outside, like on screen showing what the Thing had been doing, or you get a very brief moment of Reed in his year away from the Thing.
Mm-hmm.
We have one little cool shot of him where he actually used his stretching abilities to change the look of his face. Like, that was cool. That was straight out of the comics. I'll give him that. That was awesome. And yeah, they bring back Doom, so they go to the other dimension for about another 5 minutes, come back, they stay in the lab, then they go back to the other dimension fighting Doom. Then they come back, and it's inside buildings again. We get a very brief glimpse of them just outside in the normal world. And the final part of the movie is them in their new facility.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it was bad in terms of location. The actors were great. I love them. Michael B. Jordan was awesome, as he always is. Fantastic actor. Great as the Human Torch. Loved that. I love their whole play up with Sue being adopted. They did mention that in the movie where Reed was like, so, are you adopted? And she's like, yeah. And that was pretty much it.
That's all. Honestly, that's in real life. That's how it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, there is cases where, you know, the white gene does skip a generation, and you know, with a lot of interracial couples, but still, adopted. There, said, done.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'll give them credit for that. There are bits and pieces of the movie, and I'm pretty sure those are the bits and pieces from Josh Trank. And other than that, yeah, it was just Fox getting their hands into it, being dirty. So,
well, from what I've been reading, it's been kind of, it's one of those rare cases where all parties are at fault.
Yeah.
Because apparently on set, Josh Trank was kind of an asshole to a lot of the people.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, he wasn't ready for this large-scale production.
Mm-hmm.
Because Chronicles, you know, that was, $12 million to make?
Yeah. Yeah, very low budget.
Very
we talked
low
about
budget.
that on the latest Fat Man on Batman podcast.
And then all of a sudden, he's doing a $150 million project.
Mm-hmm. Not
just any project, you know, one that's like, okay, we have plans here. We have to keep up with Disney.
Mm-hmm. And let's be honest, this movie was made just so that they can keep the rights.
I don't know. Maybe they might do what Sony did.
Share it with Marvel?
Yeah, do a cross project.
Maybe, but
it flopped. $28 million over the weekend, and it's not doing well overseas either.
No. Well, I don't know. Fox and Marvel, they're not really on the best terms, so.
Maybe this might change things up.
We could hope, yeah. But yeah, it's watchable once it pops up on Netflix. Do watch it. I will say that. Do watch it when it pops up on Netflix so you can see for yourself just how bad it was. And as you mentioned about box office stuff, as of August 16th, the worldwide gross of the movie is $102 million. Oof. Domestic, $42 million.
Ouch.
Yeah.
That's not good.
No, not good at all. So, yeah, I think that I could talk on about Fantastic Four for a while now, but pretty sure that's going to do it for our been watching section. And now it is time to move into the news. And James, you've got our first news story here, which I'm sure is going to make a lot of people really rousy.
Really? Could have just gone with Roddy.
Could have.
Rowdy. It's now, since it is official, she is Rowdy Ronda Rousey.
Mm-hmm.
Ronda Rousey uses fan art to lobby for Captain Marvel role. That is correct. You heard me. Just when you couldn't think she couldn't get any hotter, Ronda Rousey really wants to be Captain Marvel in the upcoming film. The undefeated UFC women's bantamweight champion said she'd like to play Ms. Marvel in her recent Reddit AMA, which is awesome that she's doing that. I've actually read some of that for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's taken down in a further... Now she's taking it further onto Instagram. In the movie reminiscent of Tyrese Gibson's bid for the Green Lantern, Rousey posted some fan art renditions of her as Captain Marvel with the following text: "Since the Reddit AMA, I have received so many badass Ms. Marvel / Captain Marvel edits. There are so many cool ones. I couldn't just pick one to share. Here's one series of 2 big thank yous to contributing artists," and I'm not going to try to read the artists right now, but she gives them full credit. Posted up with the following amended text, 2 more fan arts, which just look fucking amazing.
Indeed, yeah.
And a big thank you to the contributing artists. Rousey has had a recent on-screen appearance in The Expendables 3, Fast and Furious 7, and Entourage. She's currently in pre-production of Peter Berg's Mile 22 along Mark Wahlberg, and is set to play herself in a biopic based on her autobiography. Now, physically, yes, I would love to see her as the character.
Mm-hmm.
But
can she act?
Yeah, because that's one thing Disney Marvel movies have going for them.
Mm-hmm.
They pick the perfect actor every time.
Yep.
I mean, it started, I know they didn't pick out Robert Downey Jr., but they just looked at that as an example. It's like, he's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Evans, perfect for Captain America.
Yep.
Chris Hemsworth, perfect for Thor.
Yep.
Every villain that they pick out, every hero that they add, that actor is perfect for that role.
Mm-hmm.
That they're believable as that character.
Yep.
Ronda Rousey, yes, physically she's intimidating. Yes, she's beautiful. But Carol Danvers, there's so much more to her than just that.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to be able to pick someone who can, yes, do the action, but at the same time, act.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think Ronda Rousey has the acting chops.
Mm-hmm. Can't really say much, because I didn't see Expendables 3, and God on earth, I'll go see Fantastic Four again before I watch Entourage, but so... yeah, I can't say about her acting premise, so...
And looking down at the comment section, that's pretty much the general consensus. It's like, yeah, she would be cool, but I don't think she can act.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
though I will say one thing we did say about Marvel picking the right people. What was our original reaction to them casting Dave Bautista as Drax?
True.
They have surprised us.
For the character, he was perfect.
Yep.
A big likable guy with Down syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
Who can destroy words. God. I had to stick my foot in my mouth at some point. I'm just fucked.
but yeah.
Buddy. But no, so they do mention one actress down in the comment section, which I agree perfectly, and that would be, since you've seen the movie and I haven't yet, Fury Road.
Yep.
Charlize Theron as Carol Danvers. I would love to see that.
Yeah, that would be my first pick as well. That's the thing. Marvel's going to pick the right person for the role.
Yeah, and they got a lot of pressure on them, because not only is it just another Marvel's movie, it is their first female lead movie.
Yep.
And for someone who's in the top 11 of the Avengers.
Mm-hmm. So
there's quite a bit of pressure.
Yeah. Like you said, it's first female-driven movie for them. It's going to be... And they've said, too, that she is arguably the most powerful character that we're going to be seeing on screen. It's basically their Superman, essentially.
Yeah.
So there is a lot riding on this movie for them to do it perfectly.
Yeah. I mean, for those who don't know, her abilities, number one, she can fly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, up to the Vision in the last Avengers movie, no one else flew.
Yeah.
You know,
Thor had to use his hammer.
yeah, and he's cheats. He throws it and just hangs on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, Falcon flew, but that's with the aid of a suit.
Yeah,
this
same
is straight
thing
up
with Iron Man.
Yeah, this is straight up Superman style flight.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, she's got strength. She's not as strong as the Hulk,
Mm-hmm.
but she could give him a fight.
Yep.
Think about that. Someone who's 5'11", going toe-to-toe with the Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
That's terrifying. And I don't know how far they're going to go with her powers and everything because, you know, that's always changing in the comic books.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, she's going to have energy blast. She's going to fly. She's going to superhuman strength, almost completely invulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. That's going to be a lot to take in for a movie.
Oh, yeah.
But it's going to be fucking awesome.
Yep. And come on, we know Marvel's going to succeed at this point. They did Ant-Man perfectly, so...
That was a huge debacle, almost on the scale of Fantastic Four.
Mm-hmm.
With the director issues.
Yeah. And yet they pulled it out.
Exactly.
So yeah, Ronda Rousey, you know, maybe it would be cool to see her in the Marvel Cinematic Universe as some character, just probably not as Captain Marvel.
Yeah. I mean, nothing against her. You know, I think she's a great person. I know there's a lot of people out there that think that, you know, she's too rude.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the way she conducts herself before a fight and after a fight.
Yeah.
Even though, in my opinion, the last fight, she kind of had all the reasons in the world to be rude.
Mm-hmm.
Especially after, you know, one of her best friends just died and her opponent kept making comments about her father killing himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to... Fuck sportsmanship.
Mm-hmm.
You know? But, you know, it's hard to say.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to, like you said, I'd love to see her in the Marvel Universe as, in some capacity, maybe as, I don't know, a supervillain.
Probably as a... Oh, what's her name? The one that actually took on the Miss Marvel role during Dark Reign. Moon something?
Moondragon?
No, not Moondragon. Though I could see her as that role as well. Probably a henchman for Thanos that way.
Oh, crap. Infinity Wars are coming up. Late Thanos.
She could play Death.
Yeah, no, Death kind of was neutral in that whole thing, which is funny when you think about it. No, he made a female version of himself during the whole, you know, peak of the thing, of the Infinity War, the initial Infinity War. He actually used the old gems to create an alternate version of himself, and together they just wrecked shit.
Okay, that kind of escapes my mind.
Yo.
Oh fuck! I wish I could remember the one character I'm thinking of. Ugh, that's going to bug
What does she
me.
look like?
That's the hard thing. I remember her as Miss Marvel, so I'm just going to... I'd just be explaining Miss Marvel. Oh, fuck.
Honestly, Rogue used to be Miss Marvel for a while.
Yeah. But, it was Moon something. Moon Dagger... Oh, man. Trying to find the article on IGN because somebody actually mentioned it.
Carla Sofin. Kamala Khan. No, that's the recent one. Sharon Ventura.
Nope.
And that's all the people that had the Moonstone.
Moonstone, yes, that's the
Carla
one.
Sofin.
Yeah, her. I could probably see her as that role. Kind of had the same kind of power set, but she wasn't, you know, as charismatic as Captain Marvel. So
Yeah, plus Marvel was the name Marvel Comics threw around a lot.
yeah.
A lot. Come on, Jean Grey, Marvel girl.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's move into our next news story here that's going to take us to a place far, far away.
But not a galaxy far, far away.
No.
Just another state/country for some people.
Yeah. So at D23, Disney had a lot of big news, but the biggest news arguably came in the form of a brand new expansion that they're going to be doing for both Disneyland and Disney World. And this isn't a minor expansion. This is a 14-acre expansion for at least Disneyland. They didn't really specify for World, but assuming that it's going to be the same thing. A Star Wars themed park, Star Wars Land. Now, the thing about this, already cool, awesome. You're thinking, cool, we're going to get like a bunch of Star Wars themed rides and everything. Not as simple as that. No. I will read IGN's list here. At over 14 acres each, okay, so it is for both, it's Disney's largest single theme land expansion ever. Disney's aim is in transporting guests to a never-before-seen planet, a remote trading port, and one of the last stops before the wild space where Star Wars characters and their stories come to life. Every store and restaurant will be run by characters and locals, and Disney has already begun casting people to work there and play them. So this is a completely immersive land for their theme parks. This is incredible. I will definitely put up some of the concept art that they have up here, and it looks amazing.
It's fantastical, but believable.
Yeah. Like, this is incredible. Like, and I do love the fact that apparently in one of the one of the concept arts here, we have Admiral Akbar right in the forefront. So hopefully this isn't a trap, but this...
Oh, it's going to be a tourist trap, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah. But essentially, we saw this and was like, here's a reason to go, well, in your case, back to Disneyland. And for me, it will be my first excuse to get my ass onto a plane and travel to the United States. Because when this comes up, you damn well bet I will do whatever it takes to travel there.
Oh, and you know it's going to spread to the other Disneys as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I know there's still Euro Disney. There's still they still have the Disney World in Japan,
mm-hmm.
which does incredible. And Star Wars is huge in Japan.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, I'm looking at this and I'm just, wow.
Yeah, this is incredible. They have said too that the park will have 2 major attractions, one of which has you riding the Millennium Falcon on a customized secret mission.
Oh, that's
now
people are saying, I'm looking at the comments that this is comparable to Wizard World of Harry Potter.
Mm-hmm.
And people are saying, they were, that's a hugely immersive experience.
Mm-hmm.
And just the fact that this is going to have more money behind it,
mm-hmm.
A bigger studio, plus Disney is very strict with their actors, with their, acting staff.
Mm-hmm.
If they put you out there in costume, you belong out there in costume.
Mm-hmm.
So knowing all that and seeing Star Wars land.
Yeah.
I mean, I am smiling so hard, even though I feel like such a big pile of shit right now. I can't wait.
Yeah, and one of the first things that popped into my mind, and I told you this when the news first broke, it was like, oh my god, if they do a bar, it's going to be the Cantina.
Oh, God. You're going to hear that song for on end. Hours. I'm telling you, suicide rate's going to go up. It's going to be it's going to be like the darkest area of the park people are going to avoid.
No, people will go there once. Like, oh man, this is awesome. Stay for an hour, like, okay, let's get the fuck out of here. But that first hour is going to be amazing.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, this is just so great, so great.
Honestly, I wish they would have done something like this sooner.
Mhm. Well, I guess it's been taking time. They just got the Star Wars license, and I think 2 years ago now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 2 years, or was it earlier?
No, it was a year and a half ago. Because this time last year we were complaining about their huge retcon.
Okay, yeah. So that had been because it happened just before I moved. So yeah, it was about 2 years ago. It has to be, because I'm in my third year now at this current place. So it has to be 2 years ago. So yeah, like, this just, it's so exciting, so happy. But we've got to continue with the show. So
Yes, we do.
yeah, you've got more Star Wars news for
Yes,
us.
much more Star Wars news. Also from D23, Jurassic World director takes on Star Wars Episode 9.
Woo!
Won't begin filming for years.
It's 2018.
Yeah, 2018, but still, that's a couple years from now.
Mm-hmm. True.
Star Wars Episode 9 will be directed by Jurassic World director Colin Trevorrow. Recently, it was confirmed by J.J. Abrams, who headed up The Force Awakens, would not direct Episode 9. It would also confirm that Trevorrow will not direct Jurassic World 2.
Mm-hmm.
Really, they're already planning a Jurassic World 2? Of course they are.
Oh yeah. Well, it made over $1 billion.
Yeah, that it did. Lucasfilm's Catherine Kennedy said that in a statement, Colin is someone I've been interested in working with ever since I saw Safety Not Guaranteed. The power of that film, paired with the enormous success of Jurassic World, speaks volumes about his ability both as a storyteller and a skilled filmmaker. We are thrilled to have such an incredible talent as Colin join our family to step into the true Star Wars universe. Trevorrow added, "This is not a job or an assignment. This is a seat at a campfire surrounded by an extraordinary group of storytellers, filmmakers, artists, and craftspeople. We've been charged with telling new stories for a younger generation because they deserve what we all had, a mythology, to call their own. We will do this by channeling something George Lucas instilled in all of us, boundless creativity, pure invention, and hope. Production for Episode 9 will not begin for a few years." So, honestly, looking back, a lot of people say what they will about the prequels,
Mm-hmm.
and reading that's what they were missing.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because how much of those movies were green screen? How much of it was CGI? I mean, yeah, they did have some practical effects there, but it was too many CGI gophers,
Yeah.
And so I think that's the reason why a lot of people dislike the film so much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was no sense of real wonder about them.
Yeah, especially when you see all the behind-the-scenes stuff at big, huge green screen.
Mm-hmm.
Or they're just standing in literal levels of green screen.
Yeah. Whereas where we've seen behind-the-scenes footage for Episode 7, and it nearly brings us to tears because it looks so wondrous.
Yeah, everything is dirty again. I mean, if you watch the original three,
Mm-hmm.
New Hope on through Empire's, Return of the Jedi, everything's dirty. Everything has that used look about it.
Yep.
Everything from the droids to the weapons. I mean, even the stormtroopers, as clean and white as they were, they still look like they've been through shit.
Yep.
And it's nice to see that again.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I'm looking forward to this. I mean, hell, at least we're not gonna have another Jar Jar to deal with.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty fine with this director doing it. He did a great job with Jurassic World, in my opinion. I know if we ask our friend Izzy, he would scream at the top of his lungs that this is a great choice. Yeah, I'm fine with this director. And we have the director of Looper doing episode 8. Mm-hmm. So they've been making good choices.
Still need to watch Looper. I heard as a time travel movie will make your fucking head explode, but
yeah.
But it's Bruce Willis.
Mm-hmm.
So, ready for our last story?
All right, this should be a pretty quick one. Yes, it will. We got some confirmed casting for the Wolverine 3. And that is Patrick Stewart will be coming back to play Professor X. So, awesome!
Nice.
So, to quote him, he said, "There is a project in development. I understand that Professor Xavier will be making more than an appearance. However, and that intrigues me."
More than an appearance.
Mm-hmm. I'm really interested to see what they're going to do with this movie. There's been talks about it's maybe going to take elements from Old Man Logan, elements from Enemy of the State. This could be really good. I mean, I enjoyed the last Wolverine movie. It was excellent, in my opinion.
It was a hell of a lot better than the Origins.
Yeah.
Of course, that's really not saying much.
No. They could do it with sock puppets and it would be better than Origins.
That's true.
So, what do you think about Patrick Stewart coming back?
Honestly, I'm not surprised that he's coming back. Simply because it's Patrick Stewart. I mean, next to, like I was saying earlier, with Hugh Jackman being pretty much the X-Men franchise, Patrick Stewart has become Professor X.
Mm-hmm.
Both in a lot of forms of media. They even went as far as to changing Professor Xavier in the comic books to look more like Patrick Stewart now.
Mm-hmm.
Just like they changed him to look like Nick Fury to look like Samuel L. Jackson.
Yep.
I mean, hell, even in a lot of the new animated series, they kind of gave him more of that slight English accent that Stewart has.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really obvious that he's had a huge impact on the film series because, well, what are the X-Men without Professor Xavier?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That it's cool that they're bringing him back.
Yeah.
All right, so that pretty much does for the news. See, we actually did have a quick news story.
Yay!
And our topic of the week will probably be a little bit quick too, so let's move into our topic of the week. And with D23 happening, I thought it would be kind of cool for us just to have a little bit of a laid-back chat about our favorite Disney movies of all time.
Oh, wow.
So, what's one that really comes straight to the top of your mind when you think about Disney?
For me, it would have to be The Sword and Stone.
A good choice.
I mean, I haven't seen it in a very long time, but it's one that always comes to mind.
Mm-hmm.
It was very fantastical, very crazy, very over the top for considering, the legend of King Arthur.
Mm-hmm.
But, it was always a fun movie to watch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was great. And, we talked a couple weeks ago about them actually making a live adaptation of that movie.
Which is going to be fucking awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, in a way, some people would say, be concerned about that, but apparently at D23 they showed off the Jungle Book, which looks incredible. So
Oh man.
seems like Disney can do no wrong lately.
Well, there's one other movie that they did back in the mid '80s called The Black Cauldron.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
It was a bit more serious, a lot more darker of a Disney movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like main characters actually died.
Oh, oh yeah.
Yeah. So I wouldn't mind seeing an up-to-date version of that. Because I know at the time they were talking about, how revolutionary a lot of the art styles and animation techniques they were using were.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd like to see an update version of that as well.
Yeah, that would be really enjoyable.
How about you?
The first movie that pops into my mind right away is probably it's up there as one of my favorite animated movies of all time, and that's the original Aladdin.
Oh, God, yeah.
I think that was the movie that introduced me to Robin Williams. It was just a fun movie, just really adventurous. Yeah, it was great. Like, it's probably is one of my favorite animated movies of all time. So yeah, that's the first one that really pops into my mind. Trying to think something live action. Live action's a hard one. Oh, Jesus! No, it's not. Fucking Mary Poppins.
I was about to say that one. It's like, well, there's only one live action that really pops into mind. That's Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Yeah, that movie, man. And like the more recently the whole movie. What was it called? Was it called Mr. Disney or Walt? The story of like him convincing the author to do the movie.
I don't know.
I cannot remember the name of that title now, but it had Tom Hanks into it. I've only seen parts of it, but it was really good. So yeah, there was that. Mary Poppins. Well, another remake that they're doing. The original was great. Pete's Dragon.
Oh, Jesus. That movie was so crazy.
Yeah. No trouble to tell they were smoking something back in the day, but...
Definitely. That was definitely a late 70s, early 80s movie.
Mm-hmm. Wasn't that one of the original movies that mixed live action with cartoons?
Oh, yeah. I think Disney was the first U.S.-based animation company that did that.
Mm-hmm.
No, wait. Never mind. I was going to say, no, Betty Boop used to do that, but no, what they did was rotoscoping. They would have an actor act it out, and then they would animate over the actor.
Mm-hmm.
So, no. They never actually had man and cartoon together.
See, what else has Disney really done? A lot of their other animated features. I mean, like, almost everything back in the day animated they did was great. Little Mermaid, Mulan.
Their television series, too. Darkwing Duck, Gargoyles, DuckTales.
Yep.
Shows that had such a huge impact in people's lives.
Mm-hmm. A movie that comes to my mind, and this is a bit of fun trivia for people that don't know it, Pulp Fiction as well, which was technically a Disney movie.
Oh, shit, that's right.
For people that don't know, Miramax, they did Pulp Fiction, but it was the very first movie they greenlit after they were bought by Disney, so technically Pulp Fiction is a Disney movie.
There was one other movie. The head of Disney was actually one of the producers for it when it came out, and it was Return of the Living Dead.
Oh, yeah.
The one where the gas brings the zombies back to life.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the first movie where the zombies actually talked, too.
Mm-hmm.
And ran and said, "More cops." But that technically was a Disney movie too, because he was, the head of the board, chairman of the board. Plus, he was also one of the executive producers.
Yeah.
I forget the name of who he was. I can't remember. He was kind of a balding guy.
Mm-hmm.
Used to be on Disney TV a lot.
Let's not forget Disney's Pixar stuff.
Oh, that another great animation series that touched hundreds of people, thousands, millions of people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hell, one of the greatest love stories ever came from the Disney Pixar.
Mm-hmm.
And it was only 5 minutes. Yet in those 5 minutes showed you so much
Mm-hmm.
and conveyed so much without saying a word.
Yep. And you're referring to?
Up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The old man, that little flashback at the beginning.
Yep. One of the most beautiful, sad, tragic, openings to a movie ever. And, well, Toy Story, I mean...
Toy Story.
They did something with Toy Story, which was absolutely incredible. In which, I mean, they had the original 2 come out back in the day. Great stories, really wonderful. Then you skip ahead, 10 years, I think, in between
Yeah.
movies.
It was actually 10 years between part 1 and part 2, and part 2 and part 3.
Yeah. And I mean, at that point, they could have been we're doing this. It's going to be focused on, new kids and whatnot. But they didn't. They focused on, my generation for that movie. Which was, that was awesome of them. They translated an animated picture, which, yes, it worked for younger children of this day and age, but it was made for, people of my age.
Yeah. And the same could be said for Incredibles 2.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how long ago did the first one come out?
Yeah.
And now we're finally getting a sequel.
Mm-hmm.
And the first one, I mean, a lot of people don't understand the message of that one. It's hell, I caught it.
Mm-hmm.
Here he is, the super strength, and he's like, I'm not strong enough to do this by myself. And the message was, you're not alone.
Mm-hmm.
You have your family with you.
Yep, and probably the best Fantastic Four movie we'll ever have.
Ever. Because, oh, God. That pretty much was Fantastic Four.
Yeah. Then you look at something like WALL-E, which a movie that had very little dialogue, but showed so much of
so much emotion and life.
Yeah.
From a little square robot.
Mm-hmm. And, I mean, they have so much coming up. They have the sequel to Finding Nemo coming out next year.
Finding Dory, yep.
Mm-hmm. Which, I am actually looking forward to. This year, actually, they have The Good Dinosaur coming out, which, IGN, this was the article of their story. The Good Dinosaur looks to be another Pixar tearjerker.
Yeah.
Thank you! They had one scene here. Where is it? The dinosaur Arlo has been separated from his family. And there's a scene between him and the kid known as Spot, where... Okay, I'll just read what they have written here. Suddenly, Arlo goes from smiling to looking dejected, sighing, "I miss my family." As Spot looks at him with a puzzled expression, Spot tries to explain using sticks, which he picks up and moves with his mouth, standing up in the ground to represent his family, including his mother, father, siblings, and himself. He uses his snout to make a circle around the sticks to represent the family unit. Spot understands and mimics what Arlo did, but with 3 sticks, 2 larger ones for his parents and a smaller one in the middle for himself. Finished, he lays on the ground and sadly looks at the sticks next to him, before knocking over the 2 larger ones and burying them beneath the dirt. Arlo understands and knocks over the stick representing his own father and buries it. Spot puts his hands out in a circle for his family, and then puts his head back and howls at the sky.
Okay, enough. I'm not feeling good as it is, okay?
So, yeah, ready for another fun, exciting romp? It's amazing what Pixar does, and yeah, like every one of their movies is a great Disney movie.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm trying to think of some of the older stuff as well, which I enjoyed. The original Robin Hood.
Uh-huh.
That was great.
Even though it was just leftovers from all their other art projects.
Yeah. Oh man, I was waiting at the bus stop the other day, and this older dude, he had music on blast. Like, I don't know, he didn't have headphones in, but he had it like playing. And it was going through all these Irish tunes, and then the Robin Hood theme plays. Like,
Nice.
Robin Hood and Little John walking through the forest. It's like, oh man, now I want to watch that movie again.
Funny how that works.
Yeah. But yeah, there are so many Disney classics. So many. Yeah, like, please, folks, tell us down below, what are some of your favorite Disney movies? And we're probably going to wrap up here before we start crying right now, remembering all this stuff.
Yeah.
All right, so, yeah, that pretty much does it for our topic of the week. And, yeah, that's going to do it for another podcast. We actually did this one fairly quickly, I do believe.
Well, fairly for us.
yeah, we didn't go off the rails too much this week. We got to the stop in bit of One Piece. So, James, why don't you take us away?
I'll try. Thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in to this week's episode of The Static Screen. Once again, thank you so very much for tuning in. We all, basically, without you guys, we're just a couple of nerds talking to ourselves. So until next time, I'm ECW James.
Brother. Wait, I'm redacted. Damn it.
Tune in next time.
Goodbye, everybody.